Hi, I have in front of me here an RJ11 toolless two-way splitter. Okay, basically the idea of this is that we have an RJ11 connection here, which would use obviously coming from something like a telephone point. And we can run it down here. We can actually run two separate telephone cables in here to feed two telephones off it. But the key point is that we don't need RJ11 connections, nor do we need a crimping tool. So it's a very cost-effective way to do it. In terms of you don't need the specialist tools, and it'll allow you, we'll say, to connect up two different telephone points in a house off a single input. So let's just come along and have a quick look at what this looks like here. The first thing we'll note here is that there's little rubber protection here just to keep dust and protect the connections here on both sides. We'll just pull it back like this, and then what we can see here is that we have two little tabs here. We'll just do a side profile, maybe you can see it a little bit better here. Okay, I'm just going to use my finger here to lift this first one. Sorry, now I'll just do this very quickly. I lift the first one, and now I'm going to lift the second one, like that. So it works very well. And the final thing I'll note here is that there's a colour code on it. It's white, and then it's blue on the far side. And basically the idea is it's just showing you, if you're using telephone wire, how you wire this. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give a quick demonstration of actually doing this and how easy and quick it is to do it. Okay, so I'm going to have one I've demonstrated already. So I'm going to do this in two ways. We have a first cable connected. It was actually an alarm cable here we've used just to run a telephone wire here. We've used the blue and white cable, but I'm going to use just straightforward telephone cable here. It could be two pair or one single pair. In this case here, we're just using single pair. What I'm going to do here is, again, I'm going to lift up the cover here, and I'm going to raise this mechanism here. And what I'm going to do here is, in this point here, there's two little slots, one for the white wire, one for the blue wire. We simply just push it in and push it down onto these pins below, and by that pushing mechanism, it'll automatically lock it into position. And we'll have our connection so we can connect our telephone point on the far end of this. So because it's so small here, it's very hard to demonstrate it. So what I'm actually going to do now is I'm just going to show a photograph of the internal mechanisms here. I'm just going to rotate around just to show you very quickly. I don't know if you can zoom in on that, but this is where I'm suggesting we come along and we put in the two wires. The white wire goes in here, the blue wire here. And if we look down here, we can actually see the pins, the copper pins. This is where the first wire will be pushed in and clamped, and this is where the second wire will be pushed in and clamped. Oh, that's clear on the picture. I'm just actually going to do that now in reality. So what we're doing here is just the white wire is going to go in here, the blue wire beside it. Right there. Just push it back. Two wires pushed in there, and all we have to do now is just clamp it down. And it's just an automatic mechanism like that, and we clamp it in, and now it's firmly locked in position like that. You can see it's there firmly locked, and we'll just put a cover over this. Now the great thing about this is, if we actually make a mistake or we find out there's not a good connection, if we crimped on an RJ45 connection, or an RJ11 connection, what we'd find is that we would have to cut it off, pair back the cable and do it. On this particular one, if we want to reuse this or move the wire, or make some change at a future point, we can actually just pull back off the plastic cover here, the rubber cover, and pull up this cover, and the cable will simply slide back out. Okay, so you can do it as well. So you can see why we're calling it this. So you can see there's a real niche in the market for this. I know phone lines are less common now than they were in the past, but still there's a huge market out here for a product like this. So both for the professional and for the DIYer, I would say this is a great one, particularly for people who don't want the expense of having to buy crimping tools and learning how to use RJ40 or RJ11 connectors, putting them on, all the rest of it. This is just a really, really simple and effective product.